With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Good deeds come from good thoughts only. Cherish good thoughts, searching for them in the books of wisdom, in sensible conversations, and above all in your inner self. Please continue watching for more wisdom from Leo Tolstoy.
Vegetarian.
Vegan, cause the animal people also have souls like we do.
The Republic of Adygea's rich culture and magnificent natural landscape entice travelers from far and wide. Learn to greet the welcoming locals with a friendly Lisavshi, which means hello in Adygea. I'm Alina. The eco-conscious people of Adygea join you in being vegan to help save our planet and ourselves. May God awaken all people to their benevolent, kind nature. Welcome to The Power of Thought, selections from The Pathway of Life by Leo Tolstoy, Vegetarian, Volume 2, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. This insightful saying by Leo Tolstoy is a valuable reminder for all of us to reflect inwardly. The renowned 19th century Russian author suggested that we ask ourselves what God really wants us to do. As Leo Tolstoy said, in the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. A novel by Tolstoy is not a work of art, but a piece of life, stated Matthew Arnold, a 19th century British poet and critic. In addition to his renowned epic novels, Leo Tolstoy wrote essays and letters that conveyed the spiritual truths he came to realize during the course of his life. Along with adopting and promoting the vegetarian diet, he became deeply interested in spirituality and living by the ethical teachings of Christ. The concepts he conveyed through his writings about peace and the fulfillment of God's will greatly influenced 20th century leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Supreme Master Ching Hai spoke about the uplifting nature of Leo Tolstoy's work during a group meditation session with our association members in July 1997 in Los Angeles, USA.
Because Tolstoy was a practitioner, That's why when you read his story, almost a story about spirituality, about God, and very happy, very positive. It's very good to read him, to read his book. You try. If you haven't, you try. You can read more, Such thing is very good for you.
Let us continue with the insightful excerpt called Thought from Volume 2 of The Pathway of Life, where Leo Tolstoy expounds the concept that right living starts with right thinking and how we can train our minds towards this. Thought. The life of man is determined by his thoughts. All that is truly needful to man must be obtained with laborious and constant toil. Thus do we acquire crafts and all sorts of knowledge, and even thus is acquired that which is the most needful thing in life, the art of living a good life. In order to learn how to live right, you must first teach yourself how to think right. The transition of our life from one stage to another is determined not by visible acts, which we commit by our will, marriage, removal to another place of residence, change of profession, but by the thoughts which come to us as we walk or in the dead of night, or as we eat, particularly by such thoughts as embrace the whole of our past, saying, "You acted wrongly, you ought to have acted differently." And all of our following acts, like slaves, serve these thoughts and obey their will. Our habits of thought lend their peculiar hue to all things with which we come in contact. If these thoughts are false, they will render false the most exalted truths. Our habits of thought form something far more substantial for us than the house we dwell in. We carry them about with us even as the snail carries the shell in which it lives. Our desires will not become good until we correct our habits of thought. Habits of thought determine desires, and habits of thought are formed by communing with the results of the wisdom of the best man of the world. That which is at rest may be kept at rest. That which has not yet appeared may be easily prevented. That which is yet weak may be easily broken. That which is yet little may be easily scattered. The big tree started as a small twig. The 9-storied tower commenced with the laying of single bricks. Journeys of thousands of miles commence with the first step. Take care of your thoughts. They are the origin of acts. Our thoughts, good or evil, send us to paradise or to hell, not in the heavens or on the ground, but right here in this life. Some say that reason cannot be the guide of our life, but there are people whose reason is so corrupt that they cannot trust it. Even as the life and the fate of an individual are determined by that to which he pays less heed than to his acts, namely by his thoughts, so the life of communities and nations is not determined by the events occurring among them, but by the thoughts which unite the majority of the people in these communities and nations. Do not think that to be wise is the prerogative of some special people only. Wisdom is needful to all men, and therefore all men can be wise. Wisdom is to know wherein is the business of life and how to perform it. And in order to know this, only one thing is needful. Remember that thought is a great thing, and therefore think. A thought entered my mind, and then I forget it. Well, never mind, it was only a thought. If it had been money, I should have turned everything upside down until I found it, but a mere thought. Yet gigantic oaks grow from acorns. Thought determines this or that act of an individual and of millions of men, and yet we dare to think that mere thought is a trifle. The chief source of human ills is not in men's acts, but in their thoughts. When misfortunes befall, you know that they are not due to what you have done, but to what you have thought. If we cannot restrain ourselves from committing a deed which we know is evil, it is due to the fact only that we first permitted ourselves to think of this evil act and failed to restrain our thoughts. Strive not to think of the things which you believe to be evil. More injurious than evil acts are those thoughts which lead to evil acts. An evil act need not be repeated and it can be repented, but evil thoughts give birth to evil deeds. An evil act points the path to other evil acts. Evil thoughts drag you along upon the path to evil deeds. Fruit is born of a seed, even so, deeds are born of thoughts. Even as evil fruit is born of evil seed, so evil acts are born of evil thoughts. As a farmer separates good and true seed from the seed of weeds, and selects from among the good seed the choicest and guards and sorts it, even so a prudent man treats his thoughts. He repels vain and foolish thoughts, and preserves the good thoughts, cherishing and assorting them. If you do not repel evil thoughts, nor cherish good thoughts, you cannot avoid evil acts. Good deeds come from good thoughts only. Cherish good thoughts, searching for them in the books of wisdom and sensible conversations, and above all in your inner self. So that a lamp may give steady light, it must be placed where it is protected from the wind. But if a lamp be in a windy place, the light will flicker and cast strange and dark shadows. Even so, uncontrolled, foolish, and ill-assorted thoughts cast strange and dark shadows upon the soul of man.
We are in the 21st century. We have to evolve. We have to move forward. We don't need to eat meat. We don't need to kill animals for food. Mauricio Garcia Pereira, vegetarian.
Gracious viewers, thank you for joining us today for Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is The Shining World Award recipients, Compassion Towards People and Animal People in Need, Part 1 of 2, right after Noteworthy News. May the Providence be our guiding light as we journey through life.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.